Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Friday. It is approximately noon Central Time, and that means it's time for Cars on the Move, where we connect dealers, auctions, and carriers. And it's the last Friday of the month, so we have the special edition, the melting block of ice, with Tim Scoutelas at Max Digital. And we have a special guest on top of that, Skye Haulman of One Auction View. So do me a favor, go ahead and you can first, after you leave a like, thank you so much for doing that. You can click the share button, click the copy button, grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media. This is one, you know, somebody that's building an auto transport business, right? Building relationships, talking to dealers, going to auctions. This is the show. You're going to want to help them out. Send them a link. And if you are, you're already confused. What is going on here? I don't know what's going on. Go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, become an ATI insider, get the email, talk to Ty, and maybe you can even join us on our next car shipping roundtable super spreader. Also, go ahead and join the live chat. Say hello. We got John Garofalo, Finest Towing and Recovery is in here. What's going on? Terry Brown, hope all is well. What's up, Terry? Thanks for saying hello. Chris Chamberlain, hey, everybody. Hope all you entrepreneurs are doing well. Good call there, Chris. That's exactly. This is an entrepreneurial show. Two Birds Transportation, hello. Man, that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for saying hello. We're not going to wait any longer. It's time to go say hello to Ty. Ty, can you see me and hear me okay?
Yeah, Jake, how about, can you see and hear me?
I see you, I hear you, and by the way, out there in TV land, if we have a internet dropout, just hang on. I saw a couple little hiccups before the show, but we'll be all right. We'll get through it.
Yeah, good. I don't have the auction update like I promised I would. I got here a little late. And the reason I got here a little late, I was stuck in a Clubhouse. And everybody's tired of hearing me talk about Clubhouse. But I got to tell you this one quick story that has everything to do with you and your car hauling business, okay? I'm one of the first guys in this. It's vendor dealer presentation room, whatever they call it. I got in there like first, and this guy's talking about car haulers damaging equipment or damaging the cars. I'm like, hey, so I end up on the stage. You're in this room, you're on the stage. Sit through this whole thing. We don't end up talking, but it comes back all the way around about an hour later. I finally get to talk, and I'm telling these guys, yeah, car haulers damage stuff, but here's the opportunity. The opportunity is when I'm going to go talk to a car dealer and I'm going to say I'm a transport guy. Can I have your business? No, that's not what I'm going to ask. I'm going to say, what do you think about car haulers, right? Why am I going to say that? Because these guys didn't know until I raised my hand and came in the room that I was the transport guy. These guys have real issues with real car haulers, okay? So find out what that pain spot is with the car dealer. What do I always say? Go talk to the car dealer. He'll tell you. So we've got two guys now. I'm really happy, by the way. Thank you so much. I want to invite Skye Haulman with One Auction View, Tim Scoutelas with Max Digital. Jake, can you bring those guys in here?
Yeah, working on it, man.
These guys are car dealers too, by the way.
Dude, they are. Here they come. They're here. They're already here. That was it. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Skye. Let's start with Tim. Tim, please say hello to the live Cars on the Move audience.
Hey,
today.
What's going on? Tim Scoutelas, live in the back lot. Good to see you, Jay. Good to see you, Ty. Nice to meet you, Skye. What's going on?
Nice to meet you.
Mic check. Am I good, Jay?
You're good. You're perfect. And Skye, please say hello.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me again on the show. I greatly appreciate it. It's like Cheers. Everybody knows your name. If you're hanging out with the same folks and everyone, good folks, good people.
It is like Cheers. I really like that reference. So, all right. So, gentlemen, what are we doing? The clock is ticking. The ice is melting.
Yeah, so the ice is melting, right? We've talked about when a car dealer buys a car, it's as frozen as it gets. But from that day forward, right, it's slowly melting and eventually turns to water. I use that analogy because a lot of dealers will use the water report. So, but I thought today, Ty and Skye, you guys could help me through. I thought we would share with everybody what happens when the ice melts. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. That be okay, Jay?
Perfect.
All right, let me make sure I got. All right, here we go. So this should be the right screen. So after day 60, all right, what does that look like? Let's just say this is the car we're gonna talk about today, right? The car we took in for 20 grand at the auction. But did we, right? As a dealer, that's what we saw it cross the block at. But we all know well that I'm gonna have to pay a sale fee. You're all gonna transport it. So let's just call that $1,000 on top of that. All right. When I get it to the store, I'm gonna put it in the back of the shop. And I'm going to clean it up and I'm going to recondition it, certify it, whatever. I'm going to add another $1,500 to it. Okay.
Yep.
So my unit cost, if I'm a car dealer, I own that $20,000 that I haven't done anything yet. I own it for $22,500. Now we put it out in the lot for sale and we advertise it. Okay. My carrying cost to own that car as a car dealer. This is a part of the business that not everybody really thinks about it, but it actually costs a dealer a dollar amount every day to own a car. I'm going to use the simple number of $50 a day. Some are more, some are less. If you're a dealer, you should know, right, what your carrying cost is. But after 60 days, right, you've added another $3,000 to the cost of that vehicle, essentially. So now that $20,000 car you bought 60 days ago, you now got 25 grand into it. Ty, Skye, you think a dealer's in any pain at this point?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got my attention.
Okay. So what do I do with this car? Right now, a lot of dealers may hold it longer, and that's fine. I think there could be a case could be made why you should hold it longer in this market. But a lot of the what I call the publics or the near publics will have a pretty strict turn policy. So what do they do with that car? Right? Well, it's this crappy piece of glass of water now, right? Looks like nothing I'd want to drink. The first thing they want to do is they want to retail it, right? That's where they're going to get their most money back. Okay. And actually they want to retail it at the store they work at, their store. But if you're a big dealer, a near public, or you're a part of a bigger group, just so you know, they can sell that car to a sister store. So if they sell that car to a sister store, how are they going to get it there, Ty, Skye?
Transport.
Right.
Yep.
So the point of this is to let you guys know, right? There are other ways that dealers need to move cars from point A to point B. That's what I wanted to talk about with you, Ty. Like if you're a transporter and you're tired of working the boards, I get a headache looking at Jay show you guys how to use those things, right? Thank you. Right? They do move cars from store to store, right? Especially the aged inventory for a sister store, right? Now, the worst case scenario is they are going to sell the car wholesale. So, where are they going to sell it wholesale? Well, they might sell it to a sister store within the group. They got to move that car. So there's another opportunity, I think, for you guys to say, hey, do you need to move cars between stores? Not only for, a retail deal, but maybe just as what we call aged wholesale, right? Maybe they're going to sell that car off the lot to a wholesaler. Well, who's a wholesaler you work with? Does he need help transporting the car? Right? That car is going to go away. And ultimately, right, they might run it out to the auction. So my point of this conversation was like, there are opportunities for, this audience, your audience, Jay, when a car gets old, the things still have to happen to this car.
It's a great point. Now, before I chime in, I want to hear Skye's take on this. Skye's doing this every day, right, Skye?
Yeah, I live and breathe it. I'm a car dealer by trade and a software developer catering towards dealers, obviously with One Auction View, helping dealers to find and acquire vehicles. And then our other thing that ties into what you guys are doing with Mark Grodeke and Superflow, we're working on that integration aspect of transport for buying the vehicles. But that also ties into what you guys are talking about here. Once you have that car and you need to be able to wholesale it and move it, you need to transport it. And that's exactly it. And that's something that we are also working, Mark and I are working to try to accomplish something along those lines to help these sort of situations as well.
Right. Now, Skye, you have a lot, right?
Oh yeah, I'm a
Okay.
car dealer.
Okay. And approximately, how many units do you have on your lot?
Right now I'm fairly pared down since I'm in the software more, but I'm 30, 35 units.
Okay. Now, obviously, I'm leading. I'm a leader guy, so I'm leading into okay, independent dealer, say 30 to 100 cars on the lot. Independent dealers traditionally, I think even franchise, and this is why I like having this conversation with a car dealer because I could be wrong, but I think traditionally, and Tim, you can tell me too, when the dealer hits that, hey, this 60 days market might be coming back down. I think it's time to get rid of this. How do we want to get rid of it? A, send it to the auction. B, backlot cars, ACV, sell it on the back of the lot. C, which is still my favorite, I send typically, and tell me if I'm wrong, but traditionally, if you live in a big enough city that has an auction, that old inventory tends to go there. Is that right or wrong?
Yeah, I would say so. That's usually the last resort, as long as the dealer priced it down to where usually they'll give a last hurrah in a 1 or 2 week where they'll price it down to the absolute, net $1,500 loser or whatever it may be. And then if it doesn't move within, then it's the chopping block. It goes to the sale, and then it's sayonara.
Right. And so this is a great segue into what I think Tim's trying to figure out, or Tim's asking. So if I'm a transport guy and I'm listening to Ty, and Ty keeps telling me to go talk to the dealer, Skye, Tim, and I go to Skye and I say, Skye, what are you doing with your aged inventory? What are you doing with your trades? The answer is going to probably be something like, well, I'll mark it down as much as I can. I'm going to do my best to get rid of it. That doesn't work. It's going to go to the chopping block. Or the other one in the middle, and I think this might be a little where Tim's kind of going, this idea of the wholesale, right? So when I'm a carrier, here's what I'm hearing when I hear Skye. I'm going to go find out which auction he uses, and I'm going to go find out this is great. Skye, who's your auction sales rep?
For which sale?
Pick anyone. I don't care.
Odessa, LA.
Odessa, LA. Who's your sales rep?
Nadine Jackson.
Nadine Jackson. Okay, you guys will hear me all the time. Carriers, listen. The dealer has a relationship with the auction. The dealer has a sales rep. The sales rep has two primary jobs. Correct me if I'm wrong. Go get cars, get them to the auction. Go get dealers, get them to the auction. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So we're having a live discussion, as we always promise, on Fridays at noon, connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. I'm in the parking lot of a physical auction. We virtually have two dealers. Then you've got goofball Ty and Jay here trying to act like we know it all, right? So back to Tim. I used to call that dealer trade. And I used to service big dealers that might have anywhere between 10 and 20 rooftops in connecting states, right? So I'm in Missouri. He's got 2 stores in Arkansas. He's got 2 in Oklahoma, 1 in Kansas, and 5 in Missouri. Mm-hmm. And it always baffled me because, hey, Ty, we need you to come. And a lot of times it wasn't used cars. It was new. I never figured that out. Come down and get these new Dodge Rams and take them up and bring back all the Jeeps. Well, is the market different? I don't know. But point being, this conversation is about used inventory, which I say, if you want to live with the classes, sell to the masses. Where's the mass? Used cars. What are we talking about? What's the problem? New cars don't have chips. They're not being made. Oh, gosh, we need used cars. So back to Tim, what Tim's saying. Yes, absolutely, Tim. You're 100% right. As a carrier, Tim, how do we tap into that market?
Yeah, so the auction, I think, for a dealer, if you take that car 60 days, maybe it's 90 days, whatever, he bought for 20, now owns it for around 25, the auction is going to cost him the most pain for disposal, right? And like Skye said, I'm going to give it everything I can to retail out of it. Yep. These bigger groups, though, what I want to make sure you're aware of, Ty, and your audience is aware of, I mean, yeah, they do move cars from the northern stores to the southern stores, and get in on those used cars. Yeah, you know what? They might be I know for a fact that there are groups moving a lot of new cars right now, because inventory is so short. And if it's something that's not, so my point is, like, there's more things than just the car from the auction or to the auction. There are other opportunities. So
Good
get out there,
point.
and talk to your groups, your dealers, and find out, what other things are happening with the inventory that you might have an opportunity to transport. That was my.
You know what, Tim? I just want to say this too. For anybody that doesn't know, Tim, why is it that you know so well what you're talking about? What?
I work with some pretty big dealership groups and I met a group. Well, I worked with my guys up in Minnesota this week, and I was like, and I just could hear in the office. I mean, they're moving truckloads of cars from Minnesota down to Arkansas and Oklahoma, and I mean, it's a lot of work. And these aren't auction cars; these cars they own for customers.
I got a question for you.
I thought you were raising your hand because you want to haul the cars.
Yeah, I won't show you what. Oh, wow. No, I was going to say, so I'm curious, see if you can do some homework for us and find out how does that transaction take place? Okay, because my guess, my preference is the dealer that's moving the inventory. My preference would be he has that relationship with a guy like Ty, and he just calls him. What I'm starting to see and sense that concerns me is that isn't happening as much. It's going on a load board. It's going to a broker. It's not part of the old school. Just call Ty. He'll take care of it.
And I want to say this is that because I can't help it. I'm staring at the load boards every Thursday, right? Absolutely. The companies that have an organization, they're scooping up these customers. We keep seeing folks banging their head against the wall trying to figure out how brokers set the rates. You're going to have to talk to somebody. You're going to have to pick up the phone. Tim?
Yeah, so they all know a guy. I think, Ty, we've had this conversation before. I know a guy. I got my guy, And so I'd much rather call my guy than have to get on a load board. If I have to look at one of those things every day, I don't know how you do it, Jay, or how you do it.
And that's where I see the value of this platform that Jay's built and the community in it. Because as we're seeing right now, I mean, just having Tim on, having Skye on, and I want to talk more to Skye about what he's got going on with his one auction view, because that's a big part of our world as well. And then me hanging out in these clubhouse rooms and hearing these dealers pain, and here's what I hear more than anything in all these rooms is how do we sell more cars? I don't hear them talking about how do we get the transport guy to get here on time. How do we, you don't hear that. It's how do we build a culture that sells more cars in our community, which completely affirms what I believe, which is dealers are heavily invested in local community, period. Okay, Skye, on the transaction side of buying the cars, what do you see now, Skye?
Generically, what just across the board, or what do you speak?
I like to start with your personal experience. You're in the West Coast, which I've talked to a couple dealers out there, and they do things a lot different than where I'm at. So how does it work for you in your world?
Well, for me in my world, buying cars, transactionally, our market is probably one of the hottest in the United States, I would say, from my vantage point. So it makes competition absolutely insane at every auction. So the moral of the story is what dealers are needing to do outside of their metropolitan area is a phrase I use all the time, is cast a wider net. Cast a wider net, buy outside of your area. Instead of buying within that 100-mile radius of your store, look at 500, look at 1,000, look at 1,500 miles. And once you reach a level of comfort, you could buy nationwide like I do. And then some other dealers, quite a few other dealers, are starting to realize that you could buy a vehicle on the other side of the country for less money than you can in your backyard, and then you could transport it, even incurring that transport cost, back to your dealership and be ahead thousands of dollars versus buying something in your backyard.
So
that's huge.
Yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Well, that is huge, and this is why I like having Skye, because to me, in my mind, I always have a hard time grasping this, and the reason is because how long does it take it to get it back? Okay, so the 100-mile, the 500-mile, 1,000, 1,500, and what are the challenges that the dealer, which is I call that my customer. So what are your experience with that, Skye? What are you seeing?
I'll tell you right now is a lot of the local carriers, my guys are usually pretty good at getting stuff pretty quick, but it's usually a 2 to 3 day turnaround from a local auction if it's a onesie twosie move, which is what a lot of these cars are turning out to be, because dealers aren't going in and raising their hand and buying a truckload of cars at each sale. So what's happening is that extra time it takes to get your normal guy to pick up that one or twosie car, I could have moved a car from Colorado and had it at my store at the same time, the one that's less than 100 miles from me. So that 3 to 4 day move, from Colorado, I can get that same car in my backyard, literally at the same time as moving something from Colorado. So I think time is way more compressed now, moving cars across the country. I mean, it's 5 to 7 days from Florida for me to get a car here.
Wow.
It's quick. And Florida, I'll tell you right now, easiest place to buy something and get it to the West Coast. Easiest place on the planet,
so,
honestly.
Which on the load boards, we don't like cars coming out of Florida because they're cheap. And I want to say this too, is that I'm wondering, right? Yeah. And I'm wondering if are there more loads on load boards right now because of the type of change in purchasing model you're discussing? Like, I'm wondering if there's a lot of new loads posted, onesies, twosies on routes which aren't, normally seen. And so, put it on the load board.
Yeah.
Well, historically, Florida is, the mecca for used cars, right? It's the rental car heaven, capital of the world. And I think, typically this time of year, we're flipping out the cars. So I don't know if your question or your point, Jay, about Florida and cars being cheap. I was down there last week, and there's a lot of crap going on in Florida right now.
And there was a headline: if you're trying to rent a car in Florida right now, good luck with that.
Yeah. During the week, it's not too hard. The weekends, forget about it. You're not getting a car. You better. Yeah.
So with all those cars, that's what's so interesting. You've got the we need that sand dollar or whatever. Yeah. But the thing is, transportation out of Florida almost all the time.
Yeah.
The rates suck, pretty much.
They're great.
Well,
right?
For the dealer, they're great. Yeah.
For the dealer, it's great.
Yeah.
Well, and that's where I keep going back to, because in my opinion, my experience, this market shifts. I mean, I just read an article. Here we are. We're right in the middle of a pandemic. We don't have new cars. Inventory's crazy. Prices are high. I read an article yesterday. Hey, guys, just wait about 3 to 6 months. Everybody's going to be holding the bag. Everybody's out here scrambling to get these cars that they have to have so bad. Just hold on a minute. The pendulum's going to swing. Now we're going to have guys crying their eyeballs out because they paid too much 2-3 months ago for all this inventory that they had to have. So things change. I get it. But at the same time, I like this idea of this community. Skye, tell us one more time about what you put together to help kind of manage this.
Yeah, the software company I started a little over 2 years ago is One Auction View. It's a search, evaluation, save, and bid tool, essentially to aggregate all your wholesale auctions within one screen. So you could seamlessly search everything with one login and one screen to see all the car buying opportunities across the board, whether it's in your backyard, half the United States, or the entire United States, and it's a absolutely most powerful tool. Think of it like an Expedia. If you're going to go on and book a flight at Southwest or Delta, you have to go on to each individual carrier to look at it. And then if you have an Expedia type tool, you could see all the flights and all the carriers and all the times and pick the best option that works for you. Same thing with our tool. It gives you that high value overview and the ability to zoom in and actually transact and so forth.
Which is really important because, again, I keep hanging out with all these dealers and I'm starting to hear, I don't want to say it's desperate, but you can definitely tell the dealer's starting to really scratch his head. How am I going to get this inventory?
Yeah.
What do I got to do?
Well,
I mean,
here's what's going on, Ty. So
Yeah.
we're seeing record gross, right? The dealers are making a lot of money on the cars. So when you do something and there's a good result, you want to do it again. So that's why, guys are getting out to the auctions, because everything they're buying, they're selling, and they're selling for a lot of money. They want to do that more. They're not getting the number of ups. Inventories are so low. That makes sense. I mean, I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, dealers are all scrambling. Yes, because they're making a lot of money. They want to do more of it,
Yeah. What do you call that? Smack.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, and so I guess, and I've got a lot of respect for that, because I'm a service guy, and the more I bring you, the more you sell, the more we do business.
Yeah,
So-
right. The back of the house needs to be fed, right? They're used to seeing 100 cars a month. They're only seeing 80. You can't turn up the rates on the back, so those numbers are down. You're just trying to feed the beast. A lot of these volume dealers aren't being fed like they have been over the last 3 to 5 years. Volumes are down. Grosses are up, but volume is down.
Well, it's definitely an interesting time. And again, I really appreciate having Tim and Skye and Jay, what you've done on this platform, because it allows us to at least explore perhaps some of the things that are out there. And again, Tim, if you can you throw your screen back up one more time?
Yeah, go ahead and share, Tim. Awesome.
Hold on a second.
And we're just a few minutes away, something like that. We'll wrap it up in like 5.
Okay, here you go. Which one? The last one, Ty?
Yeah. So your $20,000 car is now, what'd you say, 25?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, the reason I wanted you to pull this back up was because I think a visual image for the transport guy. Why does the dealer want his cars? Why does he keep calling me, asking me when I'm going to be there? Why does the broker keep yelling at me? Why are these people so insane about these damn cars? I'm just a truck driver. Leave me alone. Okay, first of all, no, you're not just a truck driver. Okay, you own your own business, and there's a reason you own your business. And your business is to make money, but really you're a servant. You're a server guy, right? Providing a service. You look at these numbers right here, and I'm telling you, there's a reason. Figure it out. Go ask the car dealer. Now you've got a lot to talk to this car dealer about. What are you paying for interest per car per day? I don't know. Ask the guy what he's paying for transport. I don't know. You look.
You could literally take your cell phone. If you're watching the show, take your cell phone and screenshot the screen. Then walk up to a dealership and go, "Is this true? Can I help?"
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot.
Isn't that great? Don't you love that?
Jeez.
Okay. But all right. Number 1, Tim, we're live, and number 2, I got you trapped.
Okay.
No, but here's the thing. What's so great? We could sit here live for 24 hours straight and still only hit like 1% of the potential viewing market. People are not listening, and that's just the way it is. And so it's exciting to be sharing this secret information, and only a couple people are picking up what we're laying down.
Yeah. And the point,
really
guys,
awesome.
it's not that these numbers are precise. It's to the left of that picture. Okay. How much did you have to pay for that car? How much? Okay. Skip all the middle. Where are you at in it now? 60 days later, 30 days later. And I think that's the point that I know I'm trying to make is if you're a service business, you've got a dealer, whether it's a Tim or a Skye, and the more you talk to a guy like Skye and you figure out, okay, sounds like he's doing this local, there may be an opportunity to serve Skye. Did you hear what he said? He said it's taken him, 2 to 3 days to do a local run. What? Okay, I bet Skye, you're going to the same places all the time in local, right?
Yep.
Skye, would you be happy if I got your cars there in 24 hours?
Absolutely.
Yeah, see, there's still opportunity. That's my point. And that's why we have a guy like Skye on here. So when you walk into that dealer, hey, I'm the transport guy. Go away, I already have a transport guy. Okay, no problem. But I just want to tell you, I'm really good at damaging cars. Now you got that guy's attention. Because he knows that pain. What?
Well, it's fine.
I'm the best at damaging
cars. This is what's so cool. So you're saying it. I'm typing it. Literally, it's happening. Then Ty, as you're saying that, I'm typing with Silver Mint. He quoted Tim. The dealers are making a lot of money. I know, Tim. You're going to be okay. It's good, man. The thing is that it doesn't matter. Nobody's listening. We're not throwing cash in the sky, and that's what gets attention.
I want my dealer to make money. Do you want to know what that guy spends a month for just the electric bill?
Oh, yeah.
I don't.
Oh, I know.
I
That's
want my
amazing
dealer.
when you say that.
I want my dealer to make bank, and I want to. What happens? This dude's gonna give it away. I know car dealers, man. These guys on this stupid Clubhouse, they're giving. Hey, just come on down to our conference. We'll fly you in here, buddy. We'll teach you how to be a car sales guy. We'll fly you in. We'll put you in the Marriott, the Hilton, the Hotel, whatever, 5-star. We'll put you in here for a week, and we'll send you back for free. I mean, these guys are serious about what they do. And the better you get that in your head, the more you'll understand and the more money you'll make. And probably the safer you'll be, honestly. Okay, sorry.
I want to add something on that, what Ty said. I think you hit a nail on the head with the guys who are serious about that. And I think there's an opportunity for everyone in the industry. And this is something that I think we talked about last time, Jay. If we could have like an Amazon sort of guarantee on shipping on cars, I'll tell you right now, I would pay more money if I knew my car was going to show up at XYZ time. And then that rewards the dealer and the transporter both with getting something that they mutually want. We want our car yesterday. The transporter wants to get paid. So if there's a way to synergize this with extra pay and getting our car, everyone's all on board for that. At least that's what I would think.
And Tim said everybody knows a guy. And after you've talked to that guy or you can't get a hold of the guy or whatever, you're like, throw it on the load board. Well, are you going to throw it on the load board with a good rate? No. Not unless that thing is melting. We're about to have a glass of garbage water. Yeah. One more chance, right? And then so
Like
is that
that
when
picture.
that's the moment as a dispatcher, you see that moment because oh my God, they suddenly upped the rate to something reasonable. Everybody starts calling like crazy.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
it's musical chairs. That's your business model? Musical Chairs LLC. Good job.
Yeah.
Is that what you see, Skye?
It's funny. That's exactly it. Is once you change that fare, we research the fares before we do them when we're posting on Central. And I'm really not a huge fan of the system as a dealer posting something on a load board and then getting my phone blown up and then having to stop what I'm doing to assign that car. It's inherently flawed. The whole entire aspect is inherently flawed. So, but when you up that price, it's funny. You go up $50, $100, $150, and it's I mean you're hot. I mean everyone wants a piece of you.
And that's another problem. It's just the mere mention of $50. That $50 should not cause a feeding frenzy.
It does.
What has happened?
What is that? That's
I got an extra nugget. You know, come on.
He can supersize the meal at the truck stop. Is that what he does? I don't know. $50.
So Tim, I'm going to wrap it up, but I want to see, did we get close to answering the question at least a little bit?
Oh, yeah, no, I wanted to bring light to the fact that there are cars beyond the auction, for your guys. That was my point for today is, cars get old, they get expensive. And if a guy's, the dealer, if he's grinding you, yes, he's making a lot of money. Feel free to use that, but he's also trying to, optimize every dollar. You would be too. So,
Yeah. Well, and I appreciate you pointing that out because that is real. And that's another here's a pro tip off of Tim. Okay. Tim gave us a pro tip, guys. You ready? When you're talking to that dealer, ask that dealer, do you own more than this store? More than the one I'm at right now. Do you have multiple stores? Yes, no. Okay. Well, you're too afraid to ask the question. Do a quick Google search. Okay. So point being,
Yes.
if you're really serious about the business, if you really want to own your transport business, you will get all you need to know from the car dealer.
Mr. Analogy, I love it. You just give me a mental picture. You got a guy with his metal detector. He goes out to the beach. Does he go to one spot? Nah. All right, I'm going home. No. He searches all day, every flake of sand he can find. Turn on your metal detector and move some metal. Whoa.
Move your metal.
Move some metal. Turn on your metal.
Tim, thanks for the demo, the screen share.
Was
everything.
awesome.
So awesome.
You guys are great.
Man,
Yep.
thank you
Skye?
so much. And Skye, thanks for, that was awesome.
Show, guys. Thank you. Have a great weekend. If you need
Thanks
to
for
call.
having me.
Yeah, have a good weekend, guys.
Thanks,
All right.
thanks, Tim. Good for the
Okay.
intel.
Thanks, everybody in
See
TV
you, Skye.
land. We'll see you next week. Peace out, everybody.
What does Skye do? Does he work for OAV?